Welcome to the podcast, Dreamy Cappuccino, where stories, musings, and memoirs fill your cup with inspiration. Get your headphones on, find your favorite chair, and close your eyes. It's time to hit the reset button, and for this hot, foamy cloud of caffeine to take you away on a journey into your imagination. It's time to wake up and go to dreamland.
Mirat and Tschibidad, a peculiar friendship. Part 3. He didn't have any choice in the matter anymore, and all the other things all of a sudden had become unimportant to him. Now he was on a mission. His fate had been placed right in front of him. He promised the lion to come back with his son and immediately departed. He was quite surprised that he encountered again and again animals who either had heard about Mirat or who knew him personally and who would report about the wondrous lion with a loving glow in their eyes. That made it much simpler than he thought to follow his tracks. And soon, Tschibidad stood in front of Mirat, face to face. Mirat, of course, didn't know anything about the particularity of Tschibidad, but Tschibidad knew all about Mirat, and all of a sudden he became very shy and excited, so that he lost his voice and couldn't talk. Mirat thought the bird was behaving weirdly, and he didn't know why he was here in the first place. Since he wouldn't talk to him, and Mirat already pondered seriously whether he should chase him for lunch, but then thought it wouldn't be worth it, being such a tiny bird. The peculiar bird didn't seem to need any help either, and so Mirat turned away to mind his own business. That woke Tschibidad from his state of shock, and in his dismay, he roared a giant trumpet roar towards Mirat. Mirat immediately stopped in his tracks and slowly, very slowly, turned back around. How Mirat must have felt is unimaginable. The astonishment and delight at the same time. He looked Tschibidad in the eyes and chirruped. And now Tschibidad was surprised, even though he knew that Mirat chirruped like a bird. He hadn't anticipated that he exactly would chirrup like a Mozart bird, a Mozart lion, so to speak. Both looked into each other's eyes and roared and chirruped, full of joy. A deep recognition took place, and an understanding, as if after a lifelong search, they finally had found each other, speaking the same language of the soul. It was as if one had separated twins shortly after their birth, and through chance, the twins had bumped into each other when they were already adults, being hit with a flash of awareness and belonging. They fell into each other's arms, as good as that is possible between birds and lions, and told each other their life story. From this very moment onwards, they were inseparable. They traveled to Mirat's homeland and visited his father, who now could die in peace. They left an astonished clan of trumpet lions behind them, who didn't know anymore what was right and what was wrong. They visited Tschibidad's family, who welcomed the lion heartily, and they thought he could sing more beautifully than any other Mozart bird. They organized a concert for him in which he performed for all the other birds. The applause was immense, and everyone revered him. It was simply paradise for Mirat. Tschibidad limited his practical jokes to those who tried to ridicule Mirat and frightened them forever. Tschibidad was known for his cheerfulness, and Mirat for his melancholic depth. They were a peculiar couple, and at the same time what one would call bosom buddies. Two different creatures who seemed to share one heart and one soul, who couldn't and wouldn't be separated again. Even they themselves couldn't understand why, but they belonged to one another. Fate had decided long before they actually had met.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Dreamy Cappuccino. All stories are written and narrated by Anya Kirsten, with music composed by Chelsea Edwardson. To learn more about their work and creative opportunities, check out the info on the podcast channel and be sure to subscribe. Lastly, don't hesitate if you have a moment to drop a line and share your experience. See you soon when it's time for another Dreamy Cappuccino.